Life is a constant process of dying. Every truth passes through 3 stages before it is recognized. In the first, it is ridiculed. In the second, it is opposed. In the third, it is regarded as self-evident. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. Compassion is the basis of morality. Man can indeed do what he wants, but he cannot will what he wants. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. The greatest of all follies is to be ashamed of one's own existence. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. To live alone is the fate of all great souls. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. The 2 enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. To desire immortality is to desire the eternal perpetuation of a great mistake. A man's face is his autobiography. A woman's face is her work of fiction. The world is the best of all possible worlds. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. Suffering is the positive element in this world. Indeed, it is the only link between this world and the positive. Character is destiny. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Treat a work of art like a prince, let it speak to you first. There is no absurdity so palpable but that it may be firmly planted in the human head if you only begin to inculcate it before the age of 5, by constantly repeating it with an air of great solemnity. In the sphere of knowledge, as in that of action, there is but one means of rising above the common lot, and that is by perseverance against all opposition, by the exercise of dogged determination. It is only a man's own fundamental thoughts that have truth and life in them. For it is these that he really and completely understands. A great mind becomes a great fortune. What disturbs and depresses young people is the hunt for happiness on the firm assumption that it must be met with in life. From this arises constantly deluded hope and so also dissatisfaction. Deceptive images of a vague happiness hover before us in our dreams, and we search in vain for their original. Much would have been gained if, through timely advice and instruction, young people could have had eradicated from their minds the erroneous notion that the world has a great deal to offer them. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. The memory of past pleasures is no longer a pleasure. Change alone is unchanging. The almighty dollar, that great object of universal devotion throughout our land, seems to have no genuine devotees in these peculiar villages. It is with trifles and when he is off guard that a man best reveals his character. Man is the only animal that causes pain to others with no other object than wanting to do so. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death, and the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. If children were brought into the world by an act of pure reason alone, would the human race continue to exist? Would not a man rather have so much sympathy with the coming generation as to spare it the burden of existence? To live alone is the fate of all great souls. Honor means that a man is not exceptional, fame, that he is. Fame is something which must be won, honor only something which must not be lost. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. The greatest achievements of the human mind are born out of chaos, the source of all creativity and change. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance of things present and which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived notions, opinion, and by prejudice. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. The essential thing in heaven and earth is that there should be a long obedience in the same direction, there thereby results, and has always resulted in the long run, something which has made life worth living. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Men are more ready to repay an injury than a benefit because gratitude is a burden and revenge a pleasure. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that like button for more timeless quotes.